Hello, my fellow chatterers and book lovers, and anyone else who's popped in because you're curious or you're lost. I'm Chatty, and welcome to my channel. Forgot the name of my channel there, didn't I? Chatty, the mad, slightly bemused and sleepy, fighting off a headache chatter? I don't know, that's possibly what I am today. Anyway, let's swiftly move on. I have a giant mug of tea here, and I'm so excited to be doing another tag. I feel like I've not done one in ages, and this one has been sat brewing because I know I needed a lot of time for this one. But it's really, really fun. I'm so excited. So I have my tag of tea, and oh, hello. I need to go on a book hunt. Well, this is exciting. It's the telephone tag. So the telephone book tag is a very different tag. We don't have prompts in this one. It comes from the game Telephone, which in the UK had a very different and I'd say un-PC name, but it's basically with, I'm going to say children because it does tend to be children, but you could also say, adults wanting to have some old school fun. Someone starts off with a sentence. It can be whatever you want it to be. And what they have to do is whisper it to one person, and that person has to whisper exactly what they hear to the next person. And you go down a whole line and until you get a rather garbled message at the end that sounds nothing like the original. So taking that game Telephone, Elizabeth from the channel Reading Riley came up with this fantastic booktube tag. So we're going to do that, but with books. So we take a book and we look at the cover of the book. Then we choose an element from that book cover. It could be the colour, it could be like the writing or the placement, it could be something in the background, it could be like the book focal point. And then you find a book cover that has that same element in it. So the idea is if you start off with one book cover, you go through another 10 until you get to the final one, and it probably looked nothing like the one you started with. So it's a lot of fun. And when you tag people, you start with their last book cover. So I've had a great time because I knew I wanted to film this today. I've had a great time sort of like really tracking through all of the telephone tags, so like tracking back to who tagged me and so on and therefore, and also looking at the original one and kind of who they tagged, and it's a really fun one. I recommend following it through. It's a lot of fun seeing where all the different ones came from, and also how different booktubers do this as well. Like we've had different levels of chaos of hunting for books and different kind of methods to try and match it up. It's been really, really interesting. So in the description box down below, I will put in Elizabeth and her original video. And I am so pleased to have been tagged by Lovely Day with Holly. She tagged me a long time ago, and I'm so thrilled to be finally doing this video. Thank you so much, Holly, because I wanted to do it right. I wanted to enjoy it, and I now feel like I have the time to properly do this. So, hopefully it's worth the wait. So thanks so much for tagging me, Holly. I will also link her channel and her video that she did as well down below for you too. And one of the things I want to do is I don't want to read you the synopsises. What a fun thing to say. Let's try that again with some tea. Not with the tea in my mouth because that'd be a bit gross. Synopsis is. I have a bit of a lisp, so S's and sounds are a bit challenging for me. I don't want to read synopsis is to you. I will do what I always do and put the Storygraph link in the description. So if you are interested in that book and want to know more about it, click the link and you'll be able to find more, because I like to go into my books knowing as little as possible about them, but also I want to do something fun, and I want to give you a taste of the book. I want to read the first line, so that's all I'm going to do with the books. And finally, before we start this tag, let's drink my little shot of tea, because it is one shot. I don't do editing on this channel, which could cause a little bit of chaos for one reason, but it'll be fine. We can work around it. It's not going to be a problem. So cheers, everyone. Only by the power of the pause. Let's embrace the chaos. Excellent. No dust this time. Thank you, teacup. So I am going to explain what the book was that Holly finished on. So she finished on the book Traces of Guilt by D. Henderson. And I don't edit, so I can't put a picture of this book and I don't have it. So I will put a link to the book. So if you want to go and see the cover, you can do that. You can also click Holly's video and see the cover on her one. So it is book shaped. In the middle, it's got large font, the title in this kind of cracked blue, the Traces of Guilt. There's like a line of sort of shadowy trees on the horizon. There's like water, and then there's this hand sort of like half submerged in the water, a bit like this. There's a hand like that. So that's what I've got to work with. So let's see what I find. And I have gone for this cover here. It is A Gathering Light by Jennifer Donnelly. It is a historical fiction, coming of age story. I absolutely love it so much. On the cover, you can see we've got all this lovely blue colour, which matches the blue writing. We have water, which matches the water on Traces of Guilt. And we also have trees across here on the horizon. So that was what I went for matching. This is a book I have read. Meant to say at the beginning. One thing that Elizabeth in her original video said was you can choose all the books. You can make it harder by choosing all the books you've read or all books you haven't read. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick to using all of my books to my disposal. But I think I'm having so much fun, I may then do all ones I've read or in all ones I haven't read, just to see. But I'll see at the end like how many books I have actually read and how many I haven't from whatever I compile. So this one I have read. So we're starting off with one I have read. You can see this like reflection of like the moonlight or something on the water, or the sun. Well, moonlight probably wouldn't be so bright, but it's kind of hiding the G. I feel like I've got light on the cover, so I keep twitching it. Anyway, tangents. A Gathering Light I have read. I absolutely love. There's just something about this book where you're absolutely rooting for the characters. There's a sense of mystery in it. And the historical details are there. There's feminism. There's race relations, kind of city/town feeling. It's really a lovely read, and I have recommended this to a lot of people. So let me give you a little taste with the first line. When summer comes to the North Woods, time slows down. That's all you're getting. All you're getting. Doesn't give you a whole sense of the book, really, but I don't think any first line could do that. But I highly recommend this one. So I now need to find a book with one of these elements in it to pair it up. So from A Gathering Light, I have taken the trees here in the background. And you can see all this lovely overlapping of the different blue. You've got darker blues and lighter blues, showing there's a lot of trees there. And I have paired it up with Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Kuznia. Because as you can see in Midnight in Everwood, we've got a lot of trees overlapping each other, and they're all in this beautiful blue, sort of blues into slight purple colour. So that was the link that I went for. Midnight in Everwood is a adult fantasy. Has got sort of a slight YA feel as well. It could fit in either category, I think. And it is inspired by and takes some inspiration from the original Nutcracker. So again, it's another book that I love and I have read. But yes, I love, first of all, this cover. Let's just appreciate the beauty of this cover. We've got sprayed edges with all the tree patterns on the side as well. It's from Waterstones. And I love these trees and this winter feeling that's kind of coming through. So that was the link, the trees. So I'm now going to read you the first line to give you a little taste of this one. Also, look, end pages. We've got Starry Skies end pages. pondering about whether or not to reread this. It feels it's based on inspired by the Nutcracker, so it feels very Christmassy. And looking at my TBRs, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to read this. but then like just picking it up and holding it again, I was like, oh, I could just settle down and read this in December. Anyway, chapter 1, 1906. Mariette Estelle's mother always said that nothing good came of a rainy day. And that's it. Again, does not give you the vibe of the book at all. But I am just reading the first line. I'm not reading paragraphs. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm reading the first line just because I wanted to, because I have no idea what the first lines of these books are, so I thought it would be a fun thing to do. This book is so atmospherical. It absolutely oozes wintry, magical Christmas. When you get into the second third, so the first, it's got, although it's fantasy, it's a portal fantasy. So it starts off with like historical fiction with kind of an air of magical realism, and then we go into full-on fantasy. And this book so the writing is so beautiful. It's very lyrical, so if you're not into kind of that kind of writing, you might not enjoy it so much. But you also need snacks with this book because you will be hungry. The descriptions are wonderful. Characters are fantastic. Again, feminist vibes, coming of age feel to it, and I love it. So we now need to go find something from this cover that I can match to another book. So we've got this kind of dark bluey purple tones going on. Got the title right in the middle. Then we've got this figure of the ballerina underneath the title in sort of like a little silhouette in between the trees. And I have matched this with The Snow Child by Eowyn Ivey. Again, I think this is historical fiction / magical realism. I think it's based on like a myth. This is one I haven't read, which is why I don't know so much about it. But as you can see here, we've got these lovely white trees, and then we have this silhouette that looks like it's made out of snow of a girl in between the trees with what I think is a fox. So yeah, what I was really focusing on was this silhouetted figure sort of in the middle underneath the writing. But also love that it's between the trees, and we're still getting these winter vibes from this book as well. So I haven't read The Snow Child. I want to. We'll see when I do. So the first line, chapter 1, Wolverine River, Alaska, 1920. Mabel had known there would be silence. That is it. Mabel had known there would be silence. So there you go. The Snow Child. Let's see what we can find for the next one. Got a lot of sort of purpley blue outdoorsy tree tones going on at the moment. So we have large writing of the Snow Child in the middle of the book, and then kind of just around the edges is all of these silhouette of the trees, and I have matched it with, and it's kind of like a darky purple, Twin Crowns, and this is the Fairy Loot edition that came in one of their boxes as like an extra book. So we've got Twin Crowns, this time in gold, but right in the centre. And then we've got around the outside, we've got all of these kind of roses and thorns and foliage, and it's all kind of done in a very symbolic way, similar to the Snow Child. So that is what I was going for the link for this one. And also we've got that similar colour. We've got that sort of like dark purple colour. So book number 4, I've gone for Twin Crowns, focusing on the purple, big font and like the pattern around the edges. Also, Fairy Loot do these wonderful sprayed edges. We've got this dark purple and then this kind of yellow rose stenciling down the side of the edges there. Have not read this one. This is a YA fantasy by Catherine Doyle and Catherine Webber. I did say who the other one's about, that's fine. Phew. So let's go for the first line of this book. Oh, we have a map. We love a map. Chapter 1, Wren. The golden gates of Anadorn Palace glittered in the setting sun. each spike as sharp as a dagger. There we go, there's that one. Now let's go find a matchy pair for this. So as you can see on Twin Crowns, all around these all around we've got the gold, the roses, and then we've got this sort of palace castle things at either end. So I'm focusing one at the top here above the writing. And here we go. We have my copy of Carpe Juggulum by Terry Pratchett. This is, oh, what are they called? It's the beautiful hardback editions where it's more like different colours, and sort of more symbolic. At the top here, we have got this castle right at the top of the book. So that is the bit that I'm matching them to. We've got the castle there and we've got the castle here. And I do like how we've slowly graduated from a blue colour through to deep purples, and now we're in like full on sort of like purple and lilac. So Carpe Juggulum by Terry Pratchett. This is the final book in the first Witches series, where they centre around Granny Weatherwax, Nanny Ogg, Margaret Garlick, and not Perdita, Agnes Nitt as a protagonist. And this is just hilarious fantasy. It's usually urban fantasy, but this is more like folklore. The witches books are more based in this remote sort of village. This one's got some paranormal aspects in this one because it has vampires. I just love this cover with like the eyes, and then you've got the three witches flying around the castle. And then here we have a priest approaching the castle up this road. On the back, we've got these inverted colours, which is really cool. So, first line. This is also one of my favourite books. I don't know if I mentioned I've already read it, but I've already read it and I love it. So, Carpe Juggulum. Through the shredded black clouds, a fire moved like a dying star falling back to Earth. The Earth, that is, of the Discworld. But unlike any star had ever done before, it sometimes managed to steer its fall, sometimes rising, sometimes twisting, but inevitably heading down. That's so Pratchett. It's look at it. That's the first sentence. This whole, it looks like a paragraph. It's a sentence. Anyway, that's Carpe Juggulum. We now need to go find something to pair it with. So I think this is the first time where I've really completely moved away from the vibe and I'm just focusing on one small aspect on the cover, and that is this picture of this character at the bottom of the book with our back to us, walking towards the castle in Carpe Juggulum. And here I have David Young's Stasi Winter, and we have the figure of this woman or girl, and she looks like she's about to go and enter this building, of which I've no idea what the building is, but it's this long, it could be like a courtroom or a big public library or a school or a police station, and it's a giant building that she looks like she's about to go into. So that is my link with this one. So we have completely moved away from fantasy now. We are back with historical fiction, but much more focused on crime. So this is David Young's fifth. Just checking. I think it's fourth. Hold on. I did know. Fifth installment in his sort of East German crime. Oh, can't see my face. You probably don't need to. East German crime series. So we have the tagline on here: "If the cold doesn't kill you, then the truth will." This actually belongs to my husband, and he's got the whole series, and when a new one comes out, he gets it. And I am really interested to pick this up and read this, but not this year. Chapter 1. Selin, Island of Rügen, East Germany. The previous month, December 1978. I am still the same girl, the same Irma Benhunt, who made that fateful telephone call almost 4 years ago. There we go. That is the first sentence from Stasi Winter. So let's go and find a book that will match this. So with this one, we have David Young in quite big letters at the top, and we have Stasi Winter right bang in the middle, and that takes up most of the cover. And then we just have the picture of the girl with red hair sort of near the bottom. And I have matched it with, oh, and the whole cover's white. I have matched it with Get a Life Chloe Brown, because the whole cover's white. Get a Life Chloe Brown has big letters and takes up most of the book. Most of the book is devoted to the title. And also look on here, we have two characters, and one of the characters has red hair. So Get a Life Chloe Brown, I have read, really love this book. It is a contemporary romance, and I'll read you the first line. Prologue. Once upon a time, Chloe Brown died. There you go. You're welcome. So let's match Chloe Brown up to another book. So I have spoken about Chloe Brown quite recently because I read this in August, and Talia Hibbert's writing is fantastic, and the couple is really cute, and it also deals with a few issues as well, so do check trigger warnings. But I am focusing here on the fact that, again, we have the title right in the middle and very big, and we also have the two characters here, and they are having a cuddle. There's a nice embrace going on there. So this is a romantic pairing, and on the book over here we have another cuddle going on, but this is a sisters pairing. So we've got two sisters having a cuddle at the bottom of the book, and then up here we have the Secret Sunshine Project in this giant sunshine that they're both looking at. So we've got, again, a big bold title, but it was the characters embracing, which is what I'm going for. So this is Benjamin Dean's The Secret Sunshine Project. It is a contemporary middle grade. So again, I read this relatively recently. I think it was June, and also love this book. I don't read a lot of contemporary middle grade, but this has wonderful themes of family, of dealing with change, of sisterly love, friendship, and it has some fantastic LGBTQ plus rep in here as well, and it is written by an LGBTQ plus author. And also check out these wonderful rainbow sprayed edges. Marvellous. So let me read you the first line. Chapter 1. The colours at the end of the rainbow. So before we get into this, there's one important thing I should tell you. I've been to the end of the rainbow. There you go. Let's find something to go matchy matchy with. I think this is possibly my favourite. These two books are not at all very similar, but there is one thing that links them. So as you can see, the Secret Sunshine Project has a big giant sun in the middle and a couple of characters looking towards the sun. Here we have an epic fantasy, The Shadows of What Was Lost, by James Islington, or Islington, I'm not sure which way you pronounce it. And there is a big giant sunshine and a couple of characters looking towards the sun, except it's all black and white and they're in historical clothes with spears and are not cuddling. But yes, there we go. I love that we have a total change in vibe for this. So this is epic fantasy. The plot in this is amazing. If you love fantasy, I highly recommend. This one's great. Other two afterwards are mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing in terms of their plot intricacies. Love it. So enough gushing, because I think I've done that before. Prologue. Lightning. That's it. One word. Lightning in the prologue. That's all. It tells you nothing. Nothing, I tell you. But please, if you love fantasy, please go and check this out because it's so good. Right. What am I going to do with this one then? So with The Shadows of What Was Lost, one of the things I really love is that you've got these like dark shadows and then you have this big pop of orange colour. So we've got black, white and a big pop of orange. And here we have The Girl of Ink and Stars by Kieran Millward Hargrave that has an orange background and a black shadow depicting the main character. So we're going for the colour similarity here and the kind of the shadow and silhouette kind of concept. So this is a children's middle grade. I think it's possible magical realism. I don't know if it's historical. I've not read this one, so that's why I have no idea. But it's a middle grade book and it's one I really want to read, but I haven't. So let me give you the first sentence. Chapter 1. They say the day the governor arrived, the ravens did too. And that's it. So I'm now going to go and match this one up for the final book. We're going to find book number 10. So with the Girl of Ink and Stars, we've got this beautiful silhouette face of a girl. We've got a side profile of her. I also love all these nature stuff growing out of her. It looks amazing. And I have taken that side profile silhouette and I have gone for the paperback of Bernardine Evaristo's Girl, Woman, Other. Again, it's got this beautiful bright background. We've got a yellow here, and then we've got this silhouette of this woman with this amazing dash of colours in her headscarf, turban. Not sure of the exact word. If you know, please tell me. This is another one of my favourites that I have read. Again, I love her writing. It's fantastic. The way she can kind of conjure up these characters and make you care for them in just a short amount of time is incredible. So let me read you the first sentence, which I've just realised. This is like a continuous flow is how she writes. There's no punctuation. There's the odd comma, but there's no full stop. So let's see how we get on. Chapter 1, Amma. Amma is walking along the promenade of the waterway that bisects her city. A few early morning barges cruise slowly by. To her left is the nautical-themed footbridge with its deck-like walkway and sailing mast pylons. To her right is the bend in the river as it heads east past Waterloo Bridge towards the Dome of St. Paul's. She feels the sun begin to rise. The air still breezy before the city clogs up with heat and fumes. A violinist plays something suitably uplifting further along the promenade. Amma's play, The Last Amazon of Dahomey, opens at the National Theatre tonight. At the National. I threw in the word theatre. At the National tonight. I breathe! And then at the end of that little page, there's a little asterisk. I probably could have tried to work out when the end of the sentence was, but hey, I just carried on reading. So here we go. This is the final book. So this is what you, if you want to do this tag from my video, have to match. So I've given you bright yellow. I've given you a silhouette face. I've given you a giant face across the whole book. I've given you all these amazing colours to work with. Bright big writing of the author and white writing of the author that really stands out and really bold with the title. So there you go. So tag your it if you have watched this and want to do this. Have fun, please do. I'm also going to tag 6 other people because I want to shout out their names and I'll link them all below in the channel. So I really want to tag Olivia from Olivia's Catastrophe and Alice from the Giant Bookshelf because they have a load of books and I'd love to see them have fun with this and see what goodies they're going to get with the pairings. I also want to tag Jillian from Novel Opinions and Jordan from Hardback Life because I really want to see what books they are going to come up with, and I think they'll really have fun with this and provide some really kind of like thoughtful things to kind of link the books together because I find them very thoughtful when they're doing their reviews. And I want to tag some newbies. So please go along to these channels, show them some love, look at their stuff. We have Peyton from Peyton's Library. Her newbie tag was amazing. You should definitely go and look at it. So Peyton, I really want to see, I want to glimpse more of your books and find out more about books that you like reading or want to read by doing this video. I also want to tag Sophie, the book owl. Go along to Sophie's channel. She's got some fantastic stuff out. She's really fun. So Sophie, I want you to kind of, you can get as techie as you like, flashing up images. And I want to see what you think and how you want to link books that you've read or want to read with this. So show me your books. Show me pictures of your ebooks, your audiobooks. Let's have fun with the telephone tag. Thank you so much for watching. Please like if you enjoyed it. Chat to me down below if you've got any thoughts. I always love a chat. And happy reading, everybody. Oh, and subscribe if you haven't already. I paused, thank goodness, because I just realised I didn't show you the books. Here they are in all their glory. We have gone from A Gathering Light all the way to Girl, Woman, Other. And I don't actually think that they could look more different from each other. This is so much fun. I also said I'd talk to you about which ones I'd read and which ones I hadn't. So let's look at that. And this comes in at 7. 7 books that I have read and 4 books that I haven't read. So it was definitely more focused on books I had than what I hadn't. And I've just realised that 7 and 4 make 11, not 10. So I threw in an extra book because I totally miscounted. But hey, there we go. We've got 10 pairings and 11 books to look at. Happy reading, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this.